I want to extend a warm welcome, especially to each person on the panel, and just start out with Faith. And I was watching the Hip Hop Honors. Of course, I had to jump out of my seat when you came up on the stage. But I think one of the beautiful things that you did was you provided the intro to Little Kim. How did that kind of evolve? How were you able to do that? Because I think that's a real example for other women of any race or background.
My, personal gripes with Kim, when Big left this earth, I haven't had a problem with her since, And to be honest, obviously that was the connecting thread in any of our issues, but, there's been times before when I've, tried to kind of reach out or extend the olive branch, and she's recently said she just wasn't ready at the time, so, but she's actually on the new album, so, yeah. But when I was asked to do the Hip Hop Honors, I thought that was dope. I'm like, yeah, why not? I didn't have a problem. I actually rewrote the lines and everything. I wanted to make it funnier.
You guys made history with Total as the first girl group signed with Bad Boy, and hit us with the classics. You're in this industry, it's undeniably still a male-dominated industry. What was that like for Total working in that, or was it no big deal? Like, try to explain maybe a little bit about what it was to be a woman in that time, in that era.
I think for us, it was no big deal. We felt like we were protected by the men. Like we were the sisters, whether we were the little sisters or the big sisters, we always felt like we were protected, and we always felt like we were a family. And so I think also for the women, we represented strength. And that's one of the reasons why Bad Boy embraced a Faith and a Total, is because we represented strength. Like we could be in a room with men and still hold our own.
And now, Laurieann, let's talk to you. So Emmy-nominated director, a creative director, choreographer, and an artist. Can you talk about a time when someone or some entity tried to pit you against another, maybe female artist, and how you dealt with that, how you kind of turned that around and got beyond that?
There is limited budget when you talk about black music, when you talk about urban music departments and record labels. We start off with less versus the pop, which happens to be the underlining thing, the white girls, but it's not necessarily about color, but it's just there's very limited black pop girls, so it's just ironic, but the pop budgets are, then you get to our urban budgets, and we're supposed to perform the same way with less money. And when you are about your art and not about the fame, it's also very intimidating, and you have to deal with being compared or pinned, because people like to associate with what makes it easy. And the beautiful thing about Sean and Bad Boy Records, we might fight, but we're fighting for greatness for the people, versus if you want to speak your truth around other people, they're intimidated. Like now it's just about, oh, you're amazing, you're great, hire me, but what we were built off of was, you need more, just push for the people, the records, that they deserve the best.
For Total though too, did you face that, being part of a girl group? How did you deal with that during that time if people were trying to compare you and cause you to have friction with someone else that was just pursuing their dream like you're pursuing yours?
I want to answer that question, but first I'd like to introduce my sisters, KIMA and EPPS.
They missed my Total dance. I'll do it for y'all later. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it again right now. We want to talk a little bit about the no stereotypes, because that's really, why we're here to talk about that. And as black women, to kind of break free of what society expects from us and the way society treats us. Do you think that black women's beauty is being celebrated the way it should be at this time?
I can say that it is, because we're celebrating. Regardless of if somebody else is, it's about us. It's about you and how you celebrate. So it's just like at the end of the day, I say let us celebrate who we are and let everybody else catch on, because when you know who you are, hey, listen, celebrate.
Look, black is beautiful for a reason, And so I think that now it's up to us to, raise the standard and not allow a love and hip hop to say that's how we react.
How do you deal with industry pressures? Has there ever been a time that anybody can answer this, where you felt less than because like you mentioned, certain things go in and out of trends. Have you ever had a situation where you thought, oh my goodness, I don't look like fill in the blank. I need to look more like fill in the blank in order to be competitive in this industry that is focused on looks to a large degree, as well as talent?
Every day, because there's a limited version of us out in the marketplace. So for you not to cover the insecurities that are understandable, because we face a lower amount of ourselves being reflected back at ourselves.
I would love to see women love themselves more. I think a lot of women, we love ourselves, but we love the stereotypes more. Like you bring up love and hip hop, everybody's getting their bodies done and their lips done. Love you, be you. I'm as skinny as a rail and I love it. I'm not going to
look good. You look good.
Take no fat, but you know, now the stereotype is big butts, big tits.
It's something I can specifically speak on. I have struggled with the being overweight in this industry. Even though I love my thickness, there was something that I was trying to reach, and I struggle with it off and on, up until still today. What I do love about my life that God has blessed me with is to love how I'm growing on the inside.
You know what? I also just wanted to share this, one of my struggles. I remember, like, all my life, you know how you just say, you know, I'm a town, you know, everybody Pam's a tomboy, Pam's a tomboy. And it's just like I kind of got stuck in this box, you know what I mean? So coming into the industry, of course, you see the people with the leotards and this and that. And I'm saying to myself, like, that's not me. That's not my flavor. But, you know, on the inside, I'm just like, a lot of people don't know I'm delicate on the inside, but the shell is kind of just like, yo, what? You know what I mean? That's the shell. And so I had to come to grips with who I am, you know, who is Pamela Long. And I'll never forget what God said to me. He said, you've never been a boy. And I was just like, wait a minute, because I was like, yeah, you know, I was talking to somebody, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I'm a tomboy. God said, the Spirit of the Lord said, no, you've never been a boy. He said, you're athletic. That's the name. So it's just like now I've come to grips with Pamela Long is athletic. I got an athletic build. I'm still a woman. You know what I mean? I'm still a woman, and regardless, I may not look like KEISHA, I may not look like Big, I may not be built like Laurieann or KIMA, but I'm me, and embrace that. And so I just say it's like KEISHA, just piggybacking off of that, embrace who you are. Don't call yourself something that you're not. You know what I mean? You may not look like the next person. You may not, you know, you may not dress like the next person, but you're beautiful in your own being. When you hold on to that and own that, yo, listen, you become so free. You can look at somebody else and celebrate what you see, opposed to being insecure or jealous about what you see.